Well, here we are. Another episode of On the Highway with the Highway Trucker. So I'm over here at HP yet again this morning. Got the load information last night, and it said that it was an open appointment from 2100 hours to 0900 this morning. So I'm like, awesome. I can get in there, get this stuff off of me, and get out, get my next run, and move on down the road. No, seems dispatch is asleep at the wheel this morning. Because when I get here, they tell me that they only do loads by appointment only. So, what do I do now? What would you do? If you're a new trucker, I'm going to tell you. So here's what you do. Number one, see if they will go ahead and take you pending their manager's approval. If they will, kudos. Issue resolved. If they won't, here's what you can do. Reach out to your dispatcher. Find out what they prefer you to do. So what I have done already is I went ahead and I've reached out to my dispatcher, but I went ahead and seen if their supervisor would allow them to do it. Unfortunately, their supervisor is actually in a meeting right now. So, we're waiting on my dispatch to tell me go or stay, basically. So, as soon as I hear that information, then we'll be moving. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and start on a new topic for the day. And you may have noticed that I put in there epic fail, asleep at the wheel. And here's the reason why. I want to kind of discuss a little bit about fatigued driving. So, it seems to be a thing that affects not only truck drivers, but all drivers on the road. So, fatigued driving is the same as being drunk, basically. If you feel yourself starting to get a little tired, don't be ashamed to pull off the highway somewhere and catch a quick little 30-minute nap or whatever. That could give you enough energy to go the distance. Some people say pull off and go splash cold water on your face. That may work. It's never really worked for me. They say fiddle with the radio or the air conditioner, roll your windows down and back up. But, you're already fatigued. It's no need in adding distraction on top of it, because you're going to be looking down at your radio. Once you find a good song, you're going to be listening to it and jamming, and you're not going to pay attention. Plus, you're fatigued anyways, and before you know it, 20 miles is done past, and you have no idea where the hell it went. So, one of the key things that you do want to do is try to get enough sleep at night before you come out the next day and drive, or the next evening. Even if you drive at night, you want to make sure you get plenty of rest during the day before you start out driving. So me, I'll be honest with you, last night I did not get enough rest. I am exhausted today. I think I got maybe 5 or 6 hours of sleep last night. But I got home late, and then after eating dinner, I wound up watching 1 or 2 videos on YouTube, and then I went on to bed. So, and that happens from time to time, where I'll get in late and I'll just won't get enough sleep. So, it's happened. I've caught myself several times, and some of the signs that you can look out for if you are fatigued while you're driving, because you may not even know that you're fatigued while you're driving until it's too late, and then you've got your truck upside down in a ditch, or you've just ran over a car. One of the ways that you can tell right off the bat that you are fatigued is when you start noticing things around you that, how did I get here? What happened to the last 5 miles? You know, if you're not aware of the last 5 miles, you're probably fatigued. It's a good indication that you may need to pull off and take a brief little rest. Another sign is when you're taking micro naps. And what I mean by micro naps is when you're driving and then you dodge, oh, and then you look around, then you realize that, hey, I just lost 5-10 miles. That's a micro nap. It can even happen with your eyes wide open. So it's very important that you pay close attention. You know, if that starts to happen, you want to pull off to the side of the road, because you don't want to end up in a situation that could cost you your career, cost you your life, or cost others their lives. So make sure you pull off to the side of the road on that. Now, another good sign, and this used to happen to me a lot when I was first starting out, because my body wasn't attuned to the 14-hour clocks. It wasn't attuned to being 11 hours, and it certainly wasn't attuned to driving as many hours as I do, or as we do. So one of the things I got to noticing was the highway would actually bounce in front of me, and that was a good indication that, man, I'm about to fall asleep. I need to get off the road. So when I first started, and this is a lot toward the newer drivers who are just coming in, maybe you're with your trainer or whatever, and you're just coming in. Don't try to be a powerhouse. Don't try to force it out, 11 hours or whatever you're doing. I don't care if you're on the road for an hour. If you get sleepy and you start to feel yourself, or you notice one of the signs that I mentioned, and you got a teammate or a trainer with you, let your trainer know, hey, I can't do this right now. I'm fatigued. I need to get off the road. Take over. And pull off the road. If you can't find a safe haven, pull far enough off to the shoulder that your trainer can jump over and take control and continue on down the road. It's not an embarrassment. Don't think of it as an embarrassment, as if you can't handle it. It happens to everybody. You're a human being, and human beings need rest, recharge. It's the same as if you use a battery in a toy and the battery runs out. You just have to replace it and keep going. Same thing with you. Once you get fatigued, you need to replace yourself with another driver and let that driver continue, or you need to take a little nap. Pull off the side of the road, take a 30-minute to an hour nap. Your dispatch is not going to care. If you tell your dispatch, if they question it, tell them, I felt fatigued and I pulled off the side of the road. That's one of the ways that you can deal with your dispatch. Now, they're going to try to stiff arm you and strong arm you into doing things that is not legal, but you have to ultimately realize that you are the captain of this ship. You are the one sitting behind the wheel and liable for yourself and others around you. So if you don't take that responsibility seriously, you're going to get somebody hurt and you're going to get somebody killed. Take your time. Be aware of everything around you, and for God's sake, make sure you stay alert. If you can manage and get a little power nap in, and you have enough energy to continue, then you can continue on. I personally, once I get that much energy in me, I do continue on, and then I go over to a truck stop and I'll get a cup of coffee. Now, what I've seen in the past, I've actually talked to drivers that's come into the yard or into a terminal or whatever, and they've told me that they were on a 15-hour run, and they've been going since X in the morning, and it's, you can tell that it's way past their time, and their eyes are sagging and they're tired. And I've seen them come in, believe it or not, and buy the little caffeine pills and then run right back out to the truck and jump back on the road. Not acceptable, guys. Not acceptable. I don't understand what's in the... I know that they're chasing the dollar, and maybe they're not getting paid the greatest, but, money is not worth my life, it's not worth your life, and that freight isn't worth our lives either. I don't care if a load is late. I'll be honest with you. I really don't care if a load is on time or late. I'll do my best to get it there on time, but once I cross that threshold and I'm starting to feel tired, you best believe I'm pulling off the road. I am not pushing it. It's not worth it. One of the other things that that can really affect your alertness and cause you to fatigue faster is not eating properly. So you want to make sure that you have a good diet going on, a lot of protein, a lot of vitamin B. Take a multivitamin. Keep yourself active. Exercise regularly. That'll help you sleep at night, so you won't be fatigued the next day. Now, I understand that sometimes it may not be possible to actually get a good workout in or a good exercise regimen in while you're driving a truck. You know, there are things that you can do. When you do stop at a truck stop or at a shipper or a consignee, you can get out and walk. If you have the ability and the time, you can get out and walk. Walk around your trailer a couple of times. Do a little short jog. Do some jumping jacks. You know, don't be embarrassed. Bust down and do some push-ups if you need to do some push-ups. It's perfectly okay. So there are some things. Now, one of the things that I do personally, whenever I do get a chance, and I pull into a truck stop, I'll back all the way up into the very back of the parking lot so that I have to walk across the parking lot to the truck stop. Or even at the terminal, I'll park far enough away that I have to walk for a ways so I get some exercise in. My wife and I, we have a long-running joke about my tennis shoes, because the average person will go through a pair of tennis shoes maybe once. They'll probably go through 2 pairs a year at best, you know. Me, I go through about 3 or 4 pairs a year because I do so much walking. I walk around the truck. Of course, I walk around the truck when I pre-trip too. But then I walk long distances. I'm always walking whenever I get out of the truck. As soon as I stop at the truck, I'm out of the truck and I'm walking around somewhere. I'm doing something. It tends to help me stay a little more alert and focused. So that's another thing too. I drink a lot of non-caffeine stuff now, Sprite. And it's not a paid endorsement for Sprite. I'm just saying that I drink Sprite. It was a recent development. But what I learned, so with caffeine going into your system, it's actually an adverse effect than what you think. And then when you come off the caffeine, your body starves for it. A lot of people will drink coffee in the mornings to get them going. What I have found is, through research, is that your body produces natural chemicals that your natural biological clock will actually keep you awake during daylight times and allow you to sleep during nighttime. That's the way the human body was designed. And by introducing other chemicals into your body, such as caffeine, to help alert you, to keep you alert, it can actually throw your chemical balance off, and then your body stops producing that chemical that keeps you awake when you're supposed to be awake and asleep when you're supposed to be asleep, and that can screw up your sleep patterns. And that can cause you to be fatigued as well. So you want to try to limit your caffeine intake as much as possible and let your natural chemicals in your body take over. Another thing that that will also help you, I just drew a blank. I apologize. I had it in my mind and I lost it. I'll come back to it if I can think of it. So the main thing is make sure you get plenty of exercise, good nutritious food, take your multivitamins, and get plenty of rest at night. If you start to feel fatigued, pull off to the side. You know, there's no reason for you to be out here driving while you're fatigued. If you're asleep at the wheel, you can cause some serious harm to someone, if not kill them. So, I do see that I have one person in here already. If you don't mind, give me a thumbs up. Make sure that the audio is coming through. I'd appreciate that. Um, and if you'd like, leave a comment down below. And if you have any suggestions on what you personally do to stay awake while you're out driving, I'd love to hear from those too. Make sure you put those in the comments below as well. So, this is the end of my second week with Mesilla Valley. I've not had any issues so far, per se. There's been a few little moments, but for the most part, they've stood behind what they've told me, and you know, I have to believe that that they're a pretty stand-up company. They mean what they say, and they say what they do. So I think I'm gonna stick it out for quite a while with them if they'll have me. You know, with any kind of relationship such as this, it is a two-way street. You know, you each have to give 100%, or you're not going to make it. So I plan on giving Mesilla Valley 100% of my attention, my dedication, and my aptitude, and I fully expect them to give me 100% of their support in doing my job as well. So, yeah, with that being said, you know, this is the Highway Cowboy. Catch you on the flip side.